Issues here this morning, and I'm late. I'm running really late. So it was like so shocking that TN confessed that he was the reason that Kafan is dead and that he's got her heart, but he didn't go into detail about it. He just kind of made it sound like it was because of him that she died, which it wasn't. It was his friend who was racing the car, that was racing his car. And so, in a sense, yeah, it was by chance that it happened to be his friend in the car that hit her, but it wasn't him. He was in the hospital dying. And so it made the people feel like he ran her over and killed her and took her heart. And so people just got a weird feeling about him and turned on him. And, the chief, Pupa, turned on him like a barrel of rattlesnakes. Like everybody was just yelling at him and mad at him and, asking him like, why did you do this? Why would you come here? Why would you, wait this long to tell us and this, that, and the other? And of course the children didn't understand because they don't really understand death and all of that. And so they were still kind of like, nobody understood what was going on. And the parents and everything just was like really in shock and just really upset. And literally the whole entire village like turned on him, and he was just so done. Like he didn't want to tell, but he knew he had to fess up to why he had come there. And he didn't explain. Like he just didn't go into detail about it. And so they took it the wrong way. But of course, the chief's friend, that doctor, was still researching everything, and then he was looking at the times that he was in the hospital getting his entrance to the hospital, the time he had his surgery, and then the time of the accident, and he compared the two, and he realized like, hey, there's no way he could have killed the teacher because he wasn't there. He was not nowhere near, could have been there because he was admitted to the hospital at the time of her death. He was already at the hospital, so he's not responsible for her death. It's impossible. And so, they went through this whole sequence of, he went to the chief and, gave the shirt back to the boy who they were like from the same town or same area, something like that. They could speak the same language and Thai or whatever. And so that boy was mad at him hiding out too, because he thought he had the full scoop, but he didn't have the full scoop either. So nobody wanted to talk to him. But then later on, the chief, not the chief, but the local chief, not the Pupa, but the elderly man that is over the whole village, told the young man to go. He did like a whole explanation on, caterpillars eating his flowers and how, they do eventually turn to butterflies and they come back and pollinate and make the flowers grow more and spread more. So, you have to learn forgiveness and, this, that, and the other. So he thought about it, told his son to think about it because he didn't want him to be bitter towards him at the end of the day. Like he kind of understood, I guess, like at the end of the day, it is what it is. Just move on and try to forgive him. And so he went to the waterfall because that's where Tien was sitting over there having a complete meltdown. And by that time, like I had tears dried up to my face. And, he went into detail about what had happened and he kind of backtracked. And so he was not responsible for Tufan's death. And so he told him like that. And so the boy was like, well, why didn't you tell everybody that you're not responsible for her death? And he's like, well, I don't know. Like I don't think he really said why he didn't go into it. He just didn't, I don't think he really knew how to really explain away something like that. You know what I mean? And really, if he would have just said, when I died and received her heart, me and her met up in the spiritual realm, and she asked me to come there to help you guys, but really she asked him to go there for the chief, for Pupa. And so the doctor went to the chief and told him, have you seen Tien? Because Tien is not, responsible for Tufan's death. But, of course, the chief was upset, and he was telling him, like, he didn't want to hear it. I don't want to, I just don't want to talk about it. Like, it was just, oh my God, it was just so damaging and devastating. And I was just like, oh my God, after they had gotten so close and he'd moved in with him, and, of course, he had asked him to leave and just go home because he was, like, so disappointed. And so, Tien just got ripped by everybody, including the guy who he had fell in love with, which was the chief, who was still trying to keep him there because he's fallen in love with him too. And so he had told him to take his ass home. Like, you just need to go home. Like, bitch, we're done with you. We don't want to see you. And give me Tufan's book. You don't need to be told nothing of hers. And I was just like, oh my God. Oh, so I don't know, like, how they're going to get back together, but it went on. And so the doctor explained to the chief that, that he's not responsible for her death, and that, he needs to talk to him because everybody's thinking that he killed her. And the chief realized, like, because he had the paperwork to prove it, that, oh shit, I fucked up. So he went around looking for him, and he couldn't find him. Because when they were at the waterfall, they were going to go to this mountain that Tofan had asked him to go to, in the spiritual realm, to pray for 1,000 stars for, I guess, the chief or love or whatever. And he wanted to go and pray to the stars or whatever on the top of this mountain. So he asked that boy, the one that could speak his language, to go with him. And so the boy went back to get a flashlight or something, and lo and behold, these crooked ass guys who was, getting their tea and beating them out of the tea were up to something. And Tien followed them because he was like, what are they doing over here? And why are they, headed over there? Because that's where the ghost area is. That's some part of the woods that the village is afraid of, because they say ghosts linger there. And beyond that area is where this mountaintop is, that they were going to go to anyway. So he just went on and left the other boy behind and went on following him behind those crooks. And oh my God, he got to this, like, kind of hideout area where they had all of this shit stored. Like, they had all of their goods stored, and he realized, like, oh, they're smuggling shit, they're doing all kind of illegal shit over here. And he went to take a picture and forgot to take the flash, like, to take a picture without the flash. And it flashed in the crooks and everybody. The head guy, the main one who was over everything, was there, and they saw the flash. And by that time, the other boy had caught up with him in the woods, because, like, it was like a whole chase scene in the woods and all of that. So that's how the other boy got caught up with him. And so he took his camera and took a picture of it and told him to go back and let the people know that, they're back here doing some illegal shit, and I'm gonna run, because they were chasing him at that point. So the two boys split off, and of course they caught Tien, and the chief, the head guy that was the head crooked man, I forget their names, I'm sorry to apologize, I can't remember everybody's name, but the man who's been, really just raking these people over the coals over, their tea, and beating them out of their tea and everything, he's like a snake, like such a snake. So Tien told him, you don't know who my father is, he's head of blah, blah, blah. If you do anything to me, he's going to know you did it, and he's going to come after you, and he's going to shut all this down anyway. So even if you kill me, you're already finished. And he goes, you don't know who I am. I run this, and I'm not worried about your dad. And I'm like, oh. And then he told those men to shoot Tien. And by that time, the village soldiers and the chief had showed up. And right when they were getting ready to shoot Tien, the chief shot the guy down who was about to shoot Tien. And Tien ran. And it was just like gunfire and people running everywhere, people getting shot. It was like, oh my God. And so in the midst of, like, all of that craziness, Tien ran into one of the guys, and the guy was about to shoot him and blow him away. He fell to the ground, and He was about to shoot him, and then the chief shot that guy, and that guy fell to the ground, and he grabbed Tien, and they were kind of like embraced, kinda, and the guy got up and shot the chief in the back, and then one of the soldiers shot that guy again and killed him. And by that time, he was just like on the ground bleeding and everything. Oh my God. So it went off, like him like screaming and Tien just screaming, the chief, like, are you okay, please? And, they did like a back sequence of, him telling Tien, like, I'm just here to protect you. I'm just protecting you. And, I was like, I can't with this soap opera. It's so good. You guys, this soap opera is so freaking good. Like, I don't know who writes this, how their mind works, but it's brilliant. And so, even though he had told him to get the hell out and go on about his business. And after that doctor told him what was up, he was like, let me go and find him. So I don't know how he got there in time, like his instincts, I don't know, but I was so glad because Tien was about to get killed. Like, he was fixing to be dead. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so good. So next week, I don't know what's going to happen because it is a lot going on. So I'm so excited. It's Tale of 1,000 Stars. This week's episode was episode 8. I think it has 10 episodes, so there's like going to be maybe 2 more weeks. And then this one's going to finish. And so I'll be watching this one again because it's that good. I think this is one of my most favorite BLs just because it's not all of that, mushy boy loves boy loves girl bullshit. It's like a whole village of people remotely somewhere, and all of the ins and out of that remote village, all the people there, how communities thrive, and how people come from the outside to come in to take advantage of, people who aren't as educated and know how to read or write. The children are kind of learning what their parents should have learned, like kind of old school. So I like the premise of the story and the way that it's flowing. It's not a bunch of kissing and making out. It's a lot of eye contact and, little subtleties. So it's not romance, it's more of a romance than a, in your face, over sexualized, 2 boys just making out for shock value or whatever. And so I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, this is so different than a lot of the other BLs I've seen. Some of them can be really intense, some of them can be lighthearted and comedy, and so they're all different. I'm also watching You'll Never Eat Alone. It's different too. Like, it's more of a comedy, like it's centered around food and friendship and togetherness and stuff like that. So it's a different one as well. And I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I can go around this car. Hold on. Whose car just sticks out on the road? Like, who the hell does that? Hold on. Let me go around so I don't want to hit this person's car. Oh my God. Since COVID-19, like, I've not been able to go out and eat because I just have trust issues with people. So many people are saying they're not going to take the COVID shot, and then they're handling food. Some people aren't very hygienic. I've been seeing people on TikTok posting videos of people at McDonald's and different restaurants and stuff scratching their ass and, rubbing their hands over food like the customers. They don't like the customer you might be the wrong race or wrong color or some dumb shit, and they play in your food. So I just I just cook at home. I don't even eat out anymore because I'm like, I don't want coronavirus, and I really don't want some dirty person's pubic hairs in my mouth, and, girls, doing all kinds of foul things to food and stuff like that and putting it on TikTok. And I'm like, how does people even have a damn job? Like, I just don't get it. Like, how do you even have a job? And you make it, when you do things like that, you're really hurting yourself because that's your livelihood. having people to trust you with their food and know that you are a respectful person and you respect people's food is really important, because otherwise people like me will not come out to your establishment and eat. I would rather fucking starve. You know, if I choose to have a pubic hair in my mouth, that's my choice. But I don't choose for you to make that choice for me. I choose what I want in my mouth and put in my mouth. And if you don't respect me enough to not play in my food and do disgusting things, then I won't eat in your restaurant, you know. And so I haven't been out to a restaurant in almost a year. It'll be a year in, let me see. I have to take that back. One day I did stop at a taco stand one time, and that was just because I'm diabetic and I was about to be really sick. Like I didn't eat anything. I forgot to eat, and I had to drive really far to work. And I stopped and ate, and I got sick after I ate that food. And after that, I didn't eat out anymore. So it's I really haven't eaten out anywhere, but that one time I did because I was about to be really ill. But I don't trust people. Like I've lost so much trust, and the more I see these kind of videos where people are doing things to people's food and stuff, it doesn't give me the confidence to eat and trust people with my food, because it makes me feel like everybody's doing it. And that's a shame for waiters, waitresses who rely on the public to tip them and have people coming into their establishment. But if you're posting that on TikTok and you're doing those kind of things, eventually you're going to hurt that business, and whoever the manager is needs to fire all of y'all, because everybody in there is in on it. Everybody's joking and laughing and thinking it's cute and fun that you're doing disgusting things to people's food. And that's all I want to say about that. It's 10 o'clock and I got to hair up and put my makeup on. I just wanted to talk to you guys about A Tale of a Thousand Stars and You'll Never Eat Alone. And so if you get a chance, go on YouTube and check it out. Um, You Never Eat Alone is not a GMM production. It's a different production company. I forget the name of it, but I'll try to find out and I'll post it in another video. But A Tale of a Thousand Stores is GMM Thailand, and you can find them on YouTube. So check it out. A Tale of a Thousand Stars. It's in the Thai language, but it has English translation. You just have to turn your English translation on your YouTube, and you can watch the translation and read. If you know a little bit of Thai, like some basic Thai words, you can kind of follow it along without having to stare so much into the screen. The names and everything, you can pick up on their names. I'm not like a stickler on names because I can't even hardly remember my own damn name, but I know all the characters when I see them. And I know some of the names, but I don't know all of them because there's so many side characters and side people, and everybody's got a different name. Tool and TUL and PH Poopa, and all these different names. So yeah, it's really interesting. So I really, really loved this episode. It was really intense. It's the first time I've cried on a soap opera in a long time. And so I was shocked that I cried, but it did make me cry because it was like he had worked so hard to gain their trust, and then to have to confess that he's there for that reason and not to explain himself completely really tore people apart. They're trusting him apart again and again. Like he's been through so much trying to win them over and trying to save them from getting, ripped off from, even when he was on his way out to leave and he had already decided to leave after this, he still was trying to help them because he knows that that man is still trying to rip them off. And that's why he followed them into the woods, because he was trying to see what they were up to. And luckily that boy caught up to him in time to get a picture and let them know that they're smuggling shit and doing all kind of illegal shit out there in the woods. And it's just very heroic of him. And I understand now why Tilfon really gave her heart to him, to go there, and because she knew he would be a great person to take over for her where she left off. And Oh, I'm trying to get this pen in my I'm trying to get this damn pen in my wig, and I got a wig cap on. Oh, I think I just tore the wig cap, but that's okay. I have extra. And what else I want to tell you guys? Oh, the scandal. Oh my lord, Max and Tool. I know that, these BLs are Thai actors acting. I get that. But the fans of those BLs really want to see those men in love in off screen. Like they really want to see these guys as a couple off screen. Well, honey, Max Tool. Max has a girlfriend. Her name is Moop. She's very pretty. And honey, he came on out and confessed that they're dating. And bitch, the internet went bizarre. Like it went crazy. Like the fans are disappointed. They're really upset because they had. I don't know how people can convince themselves if you're straight and you're an actor, you're acting. And this is a problem in Hollywood as well. Like you have these straight people portraying gay and they're not. They're just acting like they're actors. And if you would just put a gay person in those roles, maybe it would not hurt so much when they're not really a couple. Like you need to give gay people gay roles. Now you can't make two straight men gay. Like, it's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. And I never believed that they were a real couple. I knew they were acting. They were actors. And you can tell, like, it's some subtleties about them, like that fanship shit, like when they're going around touring. It doesn't seem believable to me. Like, nobody gay that I know is going to be doing all that dumb shit, like, for thousands and thousands of these beautiful girls, and you're straight, but you're pretending to be gay for them, like, to make money. And that's all it is. It's like they're just doing it for the money. Like they're not really gay. And so the fans are all crying and disappointed in every language because I do read Spanish. And so I read in Spanish, they were disappointed, the fans over in Mexico or wherever they're from. And I'm like, child, y'all didn't know that they were just doing it for the money, bitch? Come on. It's called Gay for Paid. And so Max and Tool are two very handsome Thai actors. And, off screen, they appear to be like touring together and doing what fanships do on tour and doing a lot of interviews all over Asia, just doing tours everywhere they can go and make money when they're not doing their movie sets and stuff. That's how they do. Ooh, something's going on. Let me see what it says here. Oh, there's a live chat. It says, lovely Kimberly, yes, gay for pay. I want to get into some novels. Hi, Kimberly. Oh my God. Yeah, these are all soap operas. And they're from Thailand, and some are from the Philippines as well that I watch. The Philippines are more on point with hiring gay people and trans people. So off screen who they are because I follow some of them and they're very open about it. And when they're doing their off screen stuff. Hi, Leela. Oh my God. And so, it is a lot going on. I got to hurry up because I'm supposed to be inside working already. And I got to meet with my new manager this afternoon on a Zoom call. So I want to throw some makeup on my face so I can look kind of presentable. But it is what it is, child. But yeah. And so a lot of people are disappointed that these guys aren't really gay. But I think in Thailand, it's a little bit more, they don't have gay marriage or anything over there in that part of Asia. And I think that's Far East Asia. And there's no gay marriage there. So, I don't understand how you would think. I'm sure there's gay people there and there's gay actors there as well. But it's different. Like they're not, it's like they want the BLs to be, they want the fans of the BLs want the actors to be gay. Like they want them really to be a couple and get married and all this stuff. And that just, it's not really, like, bitch, how are you making an actor gay? Like you're hiring straight people to play gay roles. Like if you want a gay romance, why don't you put a gay couple who are dating, who happen to be actors that are attractive into these roles. And then you could have your fanship fantasy or something like that. But realistically, almost like all of the ones I've seen, none of them are gay. Like none. Like they can play gay because they're just playing, and like a bromance, like how guys play around. It's just like a bromance. That's what it kind of feels like to me. But I don't really see where there's real romance in those. It's just acting, and so that's all I take it for. I don't understand the whole fanship of it. But then I've only been watching BLs for a year, and like I said, for me, the ones in the Philippines, those are some really good writing for scripts and stuff. If you're into, boys love or girls love, there's some girls love mixed into the boys loves as well. And so it's just all inclusive. And some of them are straight actors and straight people, like all mixed in storylines. So, taking money out of the gay actors' pockets. And that's so common here. And, in America, like you've seen it so many times where these men are playing trans roles, and then they get on stage to accept their Academy Award, and he's got a full beard and a full mustache and a full cowboy hat, and talking with a very deep voice, and people are like, what the entire fuck is that? You were the one playing this gay role? And people just are like gagged, because they're like, how's this possible? And it's very confusing because, trans people, they don't want to make you into a man anyway. So why hire a straight man to play play a role of a person who has gender dysphoria when that's not the case? Like, it's just a mess here. And so I'm glad they have Pose, and, they're hiring more trans people, and people are paving their own way. It's true. Like that, I forget his name. I think his name was Jared. I think Jared Leto. Jared Leto. I don't want to say his name wrong, but he was the one that was. He did. This is before I stopped watching American films altogether. It's like one of the last films I saw, and I forget the name of the film because I just had to block the whole shit out of my mind because I was just traumatized after the way the storyline went and how it was something like in Texas, like a Texas kind of Western type trans woman trying to get her trans medicine, and she ended up dying, and it was very tragic. And I remember I just watched it, and then the guy who, after he had played the role, come to find out he wasn't gay, he was a straight man portraying her, and he did a very piss poor job in my opinion, but he got an Academy Award for it. And then he came on the stage in a full beard and cowboy hat, and people were just like, what the entire fuck? Including me, because I was just like, no, bitch, no. And so I was confused. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but okay. So yeah. But yeah, Philippines seems to me to be their Asian production company, Star Image Artist. If you can follow them on Facebook, it's in Tagalog, but they have English translations in their films as well. You kind of have to dig a little bit on some of the stuff, but they mix English and Tagalog together, so you can still pick up on what they're talking about. And their dramas and stories are really, really good. They're not long enough, in my opinion. Like, I wish there could be season 2s to some of the stuff. Like Amore was so good. They did a wrap up for it, so I don't think there's going to be a season 2 for it, but it was one of my favorites. It's just a really good, well-written storyline, and it was sitting around a college dorm and everything, and I fell in love with all the characters because they had such good actors playing the roles, and they made it very believable. It wasn't anything fake, like just lighthearted fake. There was like really hardcore good acting going on. And there was a lot of, drama, a lot of death, a lot of, all kinds of things. And in the midst of that production company, a damn typhoon hit the Philippines and tore the damn studio apart, and they filmed it like it was literally underwater. And so that kind of messed everything up, because they lost a lot of film and equipment and stuff like that. And it kind of the storyline went kind of south a little bit. It says, He did the one with the movie with Matthew McConaughey, whatever. She had HIV. Yes, 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 yes. And it says he had HIV and they were funneling HIV medication throughout Texas area. Yeah, that's the one. Child, that storyline traumatized my black ass. I was like, ooh. And I'm not saying he's a bad actor as playing the trans role, but his representation at that Academy Awards afterwards, it was just jarring. Like it didn't sit very well with me because I'm like, I don't want people to, you know, look at the trans community as being fake because a lot of people, want to still say the trans people are fake and we are men and dresses and stuff like that when they don't know what gender dysphoria is. They don't know you come out in birth already fucked up. Like you're coming to this world already the way you are. And so you can't make people believe that. They just want to believe what they want to believe. And when you have straight men portraying, trans women, it's a very sticky situation. It's one thing for them to play a gay man because gay men don't have gender dysphoria. They're just men attracted to men, like their attraction to the same sex. And then dysphoria is you having an issue with your own self, like you're not coming out understanding why you have a penis on your body and why you don't have tits and all this kind of stuff, and your mind is always focused on why, what's wrong with me. And so they don't get that. They don't get all of the details of what gender dysphoria doesn't start. Like, and now we're trying to say children don't know. Yeah, they do know. I was a child and I knew that I didn't agree with my body when I started to come into my teenage years. And then that's, your body starts to change. You're like, bitch, no, I don't want this on my body. What's happening to me? Like, why is this happening? Why did I look more like my sister? Why don't I look more like the girls? And your brain starts to develop and understand that you're different, and so it makes it very difficult for you to function like a normal person when you're going through a dysphoria. So if they don't get it, that's on them. I don't have time to be trying to explain to dumbass people about gender dysphoria. There's a whole education piece on it. It's clinically proven. None of us are pioneers for the shit. The shit been around before we were born. So if people still want to play them stupid games like, oh, they're fake and they're bitch, okay, keep on. That's on you. Because ain't nobody got time for the nonsense. And, I'm not the one, child. I'm really not. And sometimes, like, I've gotten to the point now because I'm so over all the video posts of the confused trans people out here posting dumb shit, that I just feel like my voice doesn't even matter. Like what's the point of me trying to stand up and say shit when you've got your own trans community saying dumb shit? And some of these people aren't trans. Like they literally are men in dresses, and I don't want to say it on my post. Maybe we can talk off screen. Sometimes I'll tell you who they are, but they have big platforms and they're out there telling people they're trans and they're not. Like, you're just a man in a dress, bitch. Stop. You wouldn't know the first thing about gender dysphoria if it hit you in your head and knocked you into next year. You still would be confused about that. But yeah, some of them are just, I think like when what they call is attention seeking, you can make yourself look girly. You can dress up and put makeup on and get in front of a camera and say, I'm trans, but you're not really being accurate about it because you're still, doing some very inappropriate things on camera and saying some very inappropriate things, which make you seem like you just need attention, and so there's a lot of people out there who needs attention, I guess. I don't know, because, if it really was all that, you would need to be addressing situations that have nothing to do with you. And, you definitely wouldn't be, portraying yourself as a boy, on video in one screen and then portraying yourself as a girl in another screen. And then you're saying that bitch, you're not trans. Like, you're just a boy dressing up as a girl. Dysphoria does not say, wake you up in the morning and say, I want a hard on and I want to, do boy stuff. And then you get in front of camera and throw a wig on and then you say you're a girl. Bitch. I can't. Seriously, I can't. I can't. You know, and so I have no idea what some of these people, I guess you call them non-binary. I guess they fall in the category non-binary, but I would not call that, like, I don't call them trans. Like, I don't know what the fuck you are, but you ain't trans. You know. And so it's interesting, I don't, to each his own. People do whatever they want, but, whew, child, I can't. um, and so let me make sure I got everything I need. I should have my ass in here. I'm gonna be like 30 minutes late today, so my pay is gonna be less next week. But that's okay. At least I get some money coming in. I don't care. It's just, coronavirus is out here still. I got my first shot, by the way, of Pfizer. And I think like the first week in April, I have to go back and get the second shot. And I didn't have any side effects or anything. I just got like, my arm got really sore at night. And I just took 2 Tylenol. And the next day it was fine. Like, I didn't get sick or anything. So I was like, oh, thank God I didn't have any scary side effects or anything, because I really wanted to do the J&J, the Johnson & Johnson, because it's just one shot, but they didn't offer it, so I just took the Pfizer. And so pretty much all of my relatives have had their first or second shot already. My siblings, there's 7 of us, so we've all pretty much had it. I think one sister is still kind of slow to move, but that's on her. If she don't do it, that's her business. So you can't make folks do what they don't want to do. And so I'm still scared though, because they're saying like France and Italy and Germany, some of these places are starting to shut down because there's a second wave of another strand coming through, tearing people's ass up. And so I know it's headed this way. Like, this is not going to go away. So it's just something we have to be dealing with from now on until they can figure out how to live with all the different virus strains and stuff like that. So I'll be looking for another stimulus check probably by the fall, because this doesn't seem like it's going to go away. Like, it really doesn't. So it's a shame, Joe. But let me see what you said, Leela. Oh, there she is. She didn't say anything. I can't get this thing act right. But anyway, let me go, because I'm late and I got to get inside, and I'm not going to put any more makeup or anything on, because, Joe, this is enough. I got to put this mask on and put my shirt on and get inside. So anyway, I will talk to you later. So good chatting with you, and I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice day. And I don't know when I'll post again soon. I'm going to try. Bye, baby. I'm going to miss you. I didn't see what happened to Blair White, so I don't know, but I'll look it up. Bye.